State funds spend on more baddies than actual students. Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Come closer, class is in session. Now, today I might be talking out of my butt cheeks. Please do bear with me. The words that are coming out of my mouth might be true, might be false, might be online speculations or online rumors. Please do take it with a pinch of salt. But we've seen recently that one of our most famous politician is trending. It is alleged that he's been funding this side chick or baddie girl. And this is the reason why I'm having this conversation. It got me thinking, right? Now let's get into it. State funds are spent on influences by lousy politicians who choose to chase after women simply because they are in power and have access. Now, the love and hate relationship between influencers and politicians has been around for years. In a world of deception and lies, influencers and politicians are in the forefront of all of this. It's actually very funny because they continue to lie to the world, they continue to deceive the world, and they both deserve each other, in my opinion. The fact that influencers who continue to sell us dreams and politicians who continue to lie to us can come together and be in relationships, it makes sense. Right? It actually does. Now, I'm talking about private locations. I'm talking about luxury trips. I'm talking about designer wear. State funds are being used on these girls to fund this lifestyle, right? State resources are used to give these girls the life that you see online, the private jets, right? The breathtaking destinations. Now, if you recall, Jackie Pamuzi was the first person to actually bring light to this in her book called The Hockey Club years back. And what you see on social media is just the surface. Basically, it's just the surface. There are other layers and levels that we have no idea actually exist between influencers and politicians. I am talking club owners, right? Ministers, I'm talking board members, CEO, corporate giants, club DJs, club hosts, domestic workers, Uber drivers, hotels, restaurants. All of these people that I've just listed have worked with each other at some stage to help these politicians meet up with these influencers, whether it was directly or indirectly. Let me give you an example. Now, a politician can't just take state cars and start going around and going to clubs and go chill. No, right? But when he's connected to a club owner in Santon and ask, oh, well, it's a weekend and I need to hang around with cute girls. Who do you have? The club owner will say, cool, I'll get you some girls. These girls that are hosting at these clubs that are familiar with these DJs will all exchange numbers, and then the club owner will take it to these politicians, and these girls eventually meet these politicians. If they like the girls, they will run with them. If they don't, they will excuse them. These politicians then introduce them to their friends. Their friends are in high places. Board members, CEOs, corporate giants. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, it's just a ring of people who know each other and come together and make things happen or create life, you know? Now, Uber drivers obviously are also included in this. They are picking up these girls and dropping off these girls at these locations. They get to see what really happens, right? And at some point, I think they get to be paid to just shut up and do what they need to do, right? Domestic workers, the same applies. They are cleaning up the houses, the penthouses, the restaurants, and all of that, and the hotels. So they get to see the people who are coming in and out, right? Now, these influencers do use their social media pages to help them expose them to the right people and the right places. Now, when you take a look at the lifestyle audit of these influencers, there is no way these influencers are flying in and out of the country in luxury from social media work. No. Only a selected few can pull this off. Not all of them, right? So this makes you question, where are these girls getting this money? Where are these girls getting all of these things? Private jet. Did you see the sport cars they ride in? The different locations they change in a month. In a month. Do you get what I'm saying? And the only real influencer that's doing her thing where we can tell that she's honestly working hard, from my point of view, is Grace. Right? The rest, somebody's funding you. Definitely, I'm convinced. Now, economically, this can affect the country. If and when this is true. There are taxpayers. There are people who are living off social grants, but here comes these influencers with a couple of followers online who come and enjoy state funds where that money could be used to actually fix the country. right? Where this money could be actually used to fund people who want to get an education in this country, where this money could be used to make space for the children who are not going to school because these schools are crowded. But this money is now being spent on these girls, which is really unfair. Right now, I am convinced that these Uber drivers do know something, because most of the time, and I think they're the only ones that can come forward and confirm if it's true or not, because they are picking up these girls. They know what's happening at night at these pickups and these drop-offs at these different locations. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, we all know that the relationships are very transactional, right? And in this world, things can quickly go south and bad for the girls. We've seen this on shows like This Body Works for Me and Slay Queens on Showmax, right? And in most cases, it does end bad for the girl. Now, we look at our appointed politicians as honorable men in society who can lead us. But jokes write themselves out, right? Behind closed doors, these men are doing the worst. And this video was inspired by the famous politician who was trending, who had over 300 sex tapes, right? I think he's from Equatorial something, yes, whereby he was a politician and he was sleeping around with everyone in parliament at this point, literally. The people he worked with, their friends, their children, etc. So you'll question yourself or ask yourself, what is really happening? What's really happening in these high offices and high places in parliament and in the country, right? But I don't think it's only happening in South Africa. I do believe it's happening in other countries. Now, these politicians who have a high social ranking in society use a certain social lifestyle to attract these women, and don't even get me started with the requirements and the expectations and the demands these politicians have on these women in order to be in their presence, right? Now, I'm talking about signing NDAs, right? Going for health checkups before link ups. It's just a crazy world that you wouldn't understand if you're not part of it or if you do not pay attention, right? Where there's a group of men, you need to be very suspicious. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm just being honest, right? Over and over again, we have seen that men continue to fail society. And I know this might come across as being arrogant, but I feel that different genders have disappointed society. Whether it's members of the LGBTQ plus community, whether it's women, whether it's men, we need to have these conversations and stop pointing fingers, right? We need to start taking accountability because we are people who are living in this country, right? With that said, it's kind of disappointing that influencers are willing to do everything and anything and they don't care who gets hurt. I mean, there are people who are looking for jobs. There are people who are depending on social grants. There are people who are struggling, right? And the money that is spent on these girls to just have fun and live in pure luxury is affecting the country, right? I think we need to start being considerate. We need to put other people before ourselves. We live in a self-centered community and world, and there's a lot happening, right? Now, tell me what's your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think it's possible that influencers and politicians are, do you get, and if so, what's your thought on that? Because there are taxpayers, there are people who need these funds and money to live and survive in this country. With that said, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Do follow me on my social media platforms. It's at @mpo_liputi.